Hey everyone, this is FaZe and welcome to my channel. I can't believe that 2024 just flew by. This was a big year, not just for Apple, but also for me as well. As personally, I moved into a new place, I got married, and all these big life changes were just happening this year. And also, my YouTube channel just kind of took off. I never thought that I would end the year with 20,000 subscribers. So thank you for being a part of this journey and being a part of my YouTube community. And in 2025, we're hoping to take this channel next level. As we end 2024, I wanted to do a video where I go over my favorite Apple products that were announced this year. So I'm going to talk about 3 specific products, but before I go over those 3 favorite products of mine, I want to give some honorable mentions. The first one is the new Mac Mini. Now, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, then you probably know I'm not really a Mac user, as I've gone all in on the iPad. But I am quite impressed with the new Mac Mini for its all-new redesign and amazing performance with the all-new M4 chip. And you get 16 gigabytes of starting RAM, and that's all without Apple increasing its price. Next up, the 4th generation AirPods, as it's the first Apple earbuds that are not Pro models to receive active noise cancellation. So to get that at just a price tag of $179 is quite impressive. Next up, the 7th generation iPad Mini. Now, if you've been following me for a while, then you probably know I love the iPad Mini. I was a big fan of the 6th generation, and I was even more excited for the 7th generation. Now, this device, though I talked quite a bit about it on my channel, didn't make it on my top list. Mostly because it is quite an iterative update from the 6th generation iPad Mini. But once again, if you are someone who's going to be buying an iPad Mini for the very first time, or you're new to the Apple ecosystem, you are going to love the iPad Mini, especially the new 7th generation, as you get support for the Apple Pencil Pro and Apple Intelligence, and that new A17 Pro processor is quite fast. And last but certainly not the least, before we go into my top 3 products this year, the iPhone 16. And I'm talking specifically about the standard iPhone 16, not the Pro models. Though the standard iPhone 16 lacks the bells and whistles of the Pro and Pro Max models, for a phone that starts at just $799, it's quite a great value product. If anything, Apple this year sort of blurred the lines between the standard iPhones and the Pro models, as we get the action button from the Pro phones and the new camera control button as well. The A18 processor is also very impressive, and if you are a fan of getting nice saturated colors for your devices, you are going to love the options that Apple is providing this year. Plus, the standard iPhone just feels so much lighter when you're holding it in your hands, and that's something that you don't really get with the heftier Pro models. And of course, I hope that 2025 is the year that we finally get a 120 hertz display, because if there's anything I'm disappointed about with the standard iPhones, it's the fact that it's still stuck with a 60 hertz display. And I think that's, it's a tough sell in 2024. It's going to be an even tougher sell in 2025. And rumors are suggesting that the new iPhone 17 models will get a higher refresh rate when it comes to the display. All right, so now that we have those honorable mentions out of the way, now let's get into the top 3 favorite products of mine from Apple this year. Number 3 on my list is the Apple Watch Series 10. I absolutely love this watch, and at first when Apple announced it, I was actually kind of disappointed, because I was like, great, they're making it thinner and lighter. I don't hear about that. I want an all-new design, because there were so many rumors that Apple this year, for it being a 10th generation Apple Watch, would get a massive redesign, and we didn't get that. But to be very honest, we didn't really need that. The new Apple Watch Series 10 is thinner and lighter, and that is something that you feel on your wrist. When you are literally wearing something, when something becomes 10% thinner or 10% lighter, that is something you instantly feel. And when you start wearing the 10th generation Apple Watch, when you start wearing the 10th generation Apple Watch, and you kind of go back to the 9th or 8th generation, you're going to realize that those watches feel a little heftier and bulkier, because once you get used to wearing this, you're going to love the thinner and lighter form factor. And they didn't just make it thinner and lighter, they also made it bigger without making the overall footprint of the device much bigger, because the new Apple Watch now has larger displays. And the larger displays make a big difference, as well as everything is far easier to read. Plus, now you get an increase in brightness of 40% when viewing the watch off center, and that difference is quite apparent. The brighter always on display also shows you the seconds passing by, which makes the watch feel more like a traditional watch. Sleep apnea detection is also a big selling point for many users this year. And the new addition of speakers that can play music and podcasts is quite incredible. It's something that I didn't think I would really use, but it does come handy.
From the classroom to the workplace, we'll explain what Amazon's decision to call work.
And the new Apple Watch charges super fast. In just 30 minutes, you can charge it from 0 to 80%. Number 2 on my list is the all-new iPad Pro with the M4 chip. The performance is fantastic. The new thinner and lighter form factor is great, especially when you pair it with the new Magic Keyboard. I love the new tandem OLED display. It's beautiful to not just view content on it, but also create content on as well. So the new M4 iPad Pro is, I think, one of the best tablets that Apple has obviously ever made, but I think it's the best tablet in the market, period. And I do think that for many people, especially content creators, the new iPad Pro can be a great MacBook alternative. So now, with my number 1 product, my favorite product that Apple announced this year, it's a little different because it's not something that I think is meant for everyone, but I think it's a device that I really like because it shows you where the future is headed, and that is the Apple Vision Pro. When I first got the Apple Vision Pro, I was absolutely amazed by not just its quality, but the way you interact with it and the immersiveness that you get with it. It is hands down the most immersive product that I have ever used in my life. And also the way it allows me to work on it is quite fantastic. The fact that I can pair with your Mac and get you all these virtual monitors, you can literally take this computer and be immersed with all these displays wherever you are. And that is really, really impressive. And obviously it's great to do computing on, but it's also great to, just view content. I've even created a lot of documents on it and presentations. It's really sick. And I'm really hoping and praying that Apple brings that virtual display feature on the iPad as well. It would be so cool for me to have my iPad and get larger windows and stuff and applications with the Apple Vision Pro. That would be really, really cool. And I feel like that might come in the future for iPads, but right now it's just exclusive for the Mac. And with Vision OS 2.0, it's even better because you can get these extended wide monitors, and it looks super, super cool because now you can have your big monitors even if you're traveling, right? It's such an immersive experience that you can travel just with the Apple Vision Pro and even a wireless keyboard or mouse and get your work done and have amazing displays everywhere you go. But of course, and I've said this in my video, I have a hard time recommending this product as much as I love it because of its price tag of $3,500. This is a really, really expensive product. But once again, as Tim Cook said it himself, this is tomorrow's technology today. And I think that as time progresses, obviously we're going to get a thinner and lighter form factor. The price will definitely be reduced as the technologies become a lot more cost efficient. And obviously way down the line, we might even see the features of the Apple Vision Pro and just small, smart glasses or something. That's really, really cool. But once again, we have quite a few years before we see something like smart glasses. But I think even just thinner and lighter Apple Vision Pro headsets in general will be a big difference, especially with a lower price tag. Plus, I feel like this is the first product that Apple has announced where there's a Pro model that came out before the standard model. Because if you look at any product in the market right now that Apple sells, there's an iPhone, there's an iPhone Pro, there's an iPad, there's an iPad Pro, there's an AirPods, then there's AirPods Pro. There's a MacBook, there's a MacBook Pro, right? So there's a Pro model, but that's not something that necessarily everyone needs, right? So I do think that there's going to be a non-Pro version that will be much more of a mass market product. But once again, for the technology and what the product is offering, this is my favorite product. And it's something that I definitely love to use. But like I said, it's also a product that is my favorite, but it's hard for me to recommend. So this basically wraps up my video on my favorite Apple products this year. But at the end of the day, I want to know your thoughts. What did you think of Apple this year? Were you impressed with the products that they announced? Or were you kind of bummed and were expecting more? And also comment below what are your favorite Apple products from 2024 and what you're looking forward to from Apple in 2025. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you next time.